world where some fruits grant people abilities, our Chad main protagonist, Light, dreams of becoming an adventurer. His goal is to eat one of these legendary fruits and gain a skill that will lead him to greatness. Light and his best friend Lena discuss their hopes as they approach the church where the fruit ceremony will take place. Light shares his desire for a combat skill, maybe one for perfect aim or dual-wielding powerful weapons, anything that could make him an adventurer. Lena, too, dreams of a skill that will allow her to work alongside Light, and the pair promise to chase their dreams together. When they reach the church, Light is filled with anticipation. The fruit eaters are reminded of a critical rule. Only one skill fruit can be consumed in a lifetime. Eating a second one is fatal, a lesson tragically learned by those who tried and failed. Knowing this, Light is determined to pick wisely. His dream hinges on receiving a combat skill, like the ones possessed by the world's most famous adventurers. Lena eats her fruit first. Moments later, her body radiates heat, and the nun overseeing the ceremony is awestruck. Lena has received the rare and powerful Sword Saint skill. Chosen by fate, Lena is destined for greatness. Encouraged by Lena's success, Light takes a bite of his fruit, expecting his life to change forever. It does, but not in the way he hoped. The nun announces that Light's skill is Fruitmaster, a non-combat ability that enhances fruit cultivation and harvest. Crushed by disappointment, Light realizes his dream of adventuring is now out of reach. As Lena is whisked away to the city to begin her journey as an adventurer, Light is left behind, tending to a fruit farm with a skill he despises. Months pass. Though he grows fruit diligently, Light hates his new life. The fruits sell for little, and his skill can't even be used to grow anything beyond fruit. Meanwhile, Lena quickly rises to prominence, earning the rank of S-rank adventurer in record time. Watching orphans like you dream of becoming like her only deepens Light's despair. Despite everything, Light refuses to give up. Determined to surpass Lena someday, he practices relentlessly, even attempting to chop through a stubborn tree stump as a test of his resolve. But the attempt fails, and Light's confidence is shattered. He resigns himself to farming, believing Lena has forgotten him. One day, a girl named Ayla, an orphan the village chief entrusted to Light, offers him water after a long day's work. Light doesn't pry into Ayla's past, but the two share a simple life together. That evening, Light shows Ayla some skill fruits he's been growing in hopes of earning enough money to buy a sword. He warns her never to eat them, but to his horror, Ayla casually reveals she used the fruits in their stew. Panic grips Light as he recalls the rule about eating more than one skill fruit. Moments later, he feels intense pain and is ready to meet your long-lost uncle in heaven. Apologizing to Ayla for his carelessness, Light prepares for the end, only to realize he isn't dying at all. Instead, Light discovers something extraordinary. He has gained a second skill, Sword God. Back at the church, the nun senses an impossibility. Someone has acquired a second skill. Meanwhile, Ayla also gains a skill from the stew, one that allows her to see and understand other people's skills. She reveals that Light's Fruitmaster ability makes him immune to all fruit-related poisons, which is why he survived. As for his new skill, Sword God, it dramatically boosts his power when wielding a sword. Ecstatic, Light tests his newfound strength, easily cleaving through the once impossible tree stump. His strike is so powerful it nearly destroys the surrounding forest. Light, now the only person in the world with two skills, decides to embrace his dream. The next day, he heads to the Adventurers Guild in the city, bringing Ayla along. He explains how completing bounties will provide rewards they can use for equipment and food. More than that, Light is eager to see how his skills fare in real combat. With Sword God at his side, Light is confident he can surpass even Lena and finally achieve the dream that once seemed out of reach. After arriving at the Adventurers Guild, Light leaves Ayla to explore while he heads to the receptionist's desk. Curious about the adventurers around her, Ayla uses her skill to analyze their abilities. To her shock, everyone she checks has only one skill: Yuma's strongest adventurers. This realization deepens Ayla's admiration for Light, the only person with two skills, and she resolves to become more useful to him. While Ayla observes, a man named Jean accuses Light of bumping into him and mocks him for having the useless Fruitmaster skill. Jean tries to provoke Light further, but Light calmly ignores him. Frustrated, Jean attacks, but Light effortlessly blocks him. The crowd is stunned as Light realizes his Sword God skill enhances not only his strength, but also his reaction speed just by holding a sword. Jean storms off angrily, dismissing the block as luck, while Light refocuses on his goals. Moments later, he reveals he has already accepted a job, and the two set out. Their first mission takes them to a monster-infested area, and Light advises Ayla to stay vigilant. She quickly spots their first target, a slime, and uses her appraisal skill to reveal its high defense stats. Light, eager for his first battle, activates his Sword God skill and slices the slime in two with ease. He marvels at how light his sword feels but notes the need to control his newfound strength. Light plans to carve up the slime to sell its parts at the guild, but Ayla initially protests, feeling sorry for the creature. However, when Light explains that selling the slime will buy them enough for 10 pizzas, Ayla enthusiastically joins in. While they harvest the slime, screams echo nearby. Jean and his group are being attacked by your almighty mother. Ayla points out that ogres aren't typically found in this area, raising concerns about its presence. Jean, in a desperate and selfish move, runs toward Light, hoping to redirect the ogre's attention and escape. His plan works as the ogre returns to face Light, leaving Jean and his group to flee. Light, unfazed by the ogre, sees this as a chance to prove himself. Ayla warns him that while his sword god skill enhances offense, it provides no defensive boosts, meaning one hit from the ogre could be fatal. Light acknowledges the risk, but is determined to emerge victorious and catch up to Lena. Dodging the ogre's attacks, he carefully assesses its movements. With growing confidence in his skill, Light channels his full strength and unleashes a devastating demon slash, destroying the ogre and its weapon in one strike. Ayla cheers at his victory, while nearby adventurers watch in stunned silence. They can't believe what they've just witnessed and wonder who this powerful newcomer is. Back at the guild, the receptionist is equally shocked when Light reports that he defeated both a slime and an ogre. As proof, he presents the ogre's massive horn, leaving no room for doubt. Even Jean's group reluctantly confirms the story. The room suddenly falls silent as an elite S-rank party known as Sacred enters. At the center of the group is Lena, now a celebrated adventurer. Light greets her warmly, but to his surprise, Lena claims she doesn't know him. Confused and hurt, Light watches as she leaves with her party. Meanwhile, back at the church, the nun who oversees the skill fruit ceremonies reveals a troubling vision she had during Light and Lena's ceremony. She foresaw a catastrophic event tied to Light's unique circumstances. A tremendous threat has been born, one that could shake the entire world. This then marks the end of today's anime recap. If you enjoyed the video and want more of it, please support the channel by leaving a like and subscribe. Let's help us reach our current goal of 20,000 subscribers.